I was sitting on steps and I was stopping you. For what? You touched me. Oh. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck, yo?
I got all that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not touching them.
Hey, yo, see this shit, yo? Hey, yo.
I got all that, dummy.
Yo, we got all that.
I got all that. I got all that.
Hey, yo, what the fuck you just doing all that for, yo?
Welcome to Don't Believe the Hype. And if you saw the name of the episode, Black cop with white socks swings on black man.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny, right?
And I'm Donovan Sadiq. I'm joined by Demetra K from the Demetra K Show. She is in the house, and she's going to give us an update and keep us on the reel of what is actually happening in Black America, in the state of Baltimore. I have never, is it just me, or, those socks just stood out. The brother was ready to go.
The socks did catch me off guard, too. It was one of the first things I noticed, when the socks showed up.
Right, exactly.
But anyway, in all seriousness, though, for those of you guys who have been following the news, you or been on Facebook or whatever social media that you have, you saw a video that went viral of a black police officer beating the crap. I wish I could find a stronger way to say that.
He was throwing bombs.
Man, he was beating the crap out of this brother. So I'll go ahead and read you my research that I got really briefly so you'll have all the facts. So, a couple days ago, we saw another video, a video of a black man being brutalized by a police officer in Baltimore.
I'm sorry, keep laughing.
The White Sox.
I get the other side.
This time the officer was a black man. The officer was caught on video beating the crap out of Deshaun McGreer because he refused to show the officer his identification. Shortly after that, McGreer can be heard saying, "For what?" That's when the officer, Arthur Williams, because for whatever reason, the police force didn't, or a station or whatever, don't want to release his name, but you know, people on the internet like, we got you, boo. His name is Arthur Williams, okay?
They like to protect their own.
Right. So he unloaded several punches on the man. McGreer suffered a broken jaw, rib, eye socket, and nose. And he said he can't feel. He said he can't. And that's pretty much what people were saying. That he can't feel his left leg. He's lost sensation or feeling in his left leg. All right. So since then, Officer Williams has resigned, and the other officer that was there is under administrative leave or desk duty, I guess you could say. Not on paid desk duty. They're saying that he's not initially charged with anything, but they're just trying to figure out the investigation because it's still ongoing. So for whatever reason, they took him off the beat, if you will. Now, it should also be noted that Officer Williams and McGreer had beef in the past. Last June, allegedly McGreer assaulted the officer, and it was also said that the officer ran up on him as a form of get back. So this last time, it was like, I ain't forgot what you did to me, and all this other matter. That's what people are saying, right?
And now I got a badge. So
right. Well, no, he was an officer then because remember he joined the police force in May of last year.
May of last year. Okay.
So this happened not even a month after he was on the force. And so there's a video of that incident too that shows the officer pinning McGreer down to the ground as others are asking, what did he do? Now that incident is still under review, but the charges in the latest incident have been dropped, and McGreer is now suing because outside his reasons he effed him up.
Of course, and there's another example of our tax dollars being paid out for a mistrained cop and misbehavior of police officers.
But I'm going to ask you that question just a second because I have a good question to what you just said. Now, Williams, the police officer, has been a police officer, as I said, for a little over a year. He joined in May of 2017. The state is now considering second-degree assault charges against the officer, or the former officer, we should say. And that's pretty much it. But to your point, is it mistraining? Or is it, to me, to do that to somebody, is that, to me, that's a firm decision to do somebody like that, whether you've been trained or not.
Right. Well, okay. The bottom line is this. when you have officers in all jurisdictions across the United States, that the first thing they say when they feel threatened is they feel their life is in danger.
Right.
That is a training misconception there. There's a problem when you're training the officers to be afraid, because let's look at our military. All squads across the United States, we don't train military people to be afraid.
Are they really afraid though, or is this just something?
No.
Because the way that brother, or I shouldn't even say the brother, but the officer unloaded on that brother, that to me that didn't seem like he was scared.
No. What it is okay. You got the different levels of jurisdiction, right? For some reason, people believe that because you're a police officer, you got this badge, you have special privileges. Have you ever seen a cop on his cell phone while he's driving? I've seen it.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Have you ever seen a cop that shouldn't be on his personal cell phone when he's on the clock? Just doing stuff.
Or running lights. And
right, running lights or parking where he's not supposed to be parking, where it's supposed to be an emergency thing.
Right.
They believe because they have a badge, we have these special privileges. No, you don't have these special privileges.
Right.
How are you going to enforce me if you're not following the law yourself?
Now, could it be an issue of, because I know they're supposed to, right, to do a psychological evaluation and all that. Do you think it's just a matter of some of those people, as from what we've seen, a lot of those people getting through the cracks?
Well, yeah.
Because that was some crazy shit.
I believe that's a small part of it, because you also have the you also have the problem of political expediency. We're putting our politics into these organizations. A good example, the military. For 20-something years I was in the military, they said homosexuality and military life is not compatible. But now we get into the political aspect of it.
It is.
They force it down your throat. And then you have problems because you've got people like me who have been already conditioned, oh, this ain't working. Or I feel threatened because now I'm in the shower with this guy that's looking at me. It's just like I was telling you, a couple months back. Why can't we, men and women, take showers together? Yeah, there's going to be some that are going to be. But it's a political expediency, and these people are forced in there.
Yeah, you're speaking from a traditional point of view, and I'm a traditionalist too, and I don't make any apologies about that. But to me, because I hear that a lot, that police officers need to be retrained. But I just think to do that to somebody, I don't think it's an issue of training. I think it's an issue.
Well, there's a bias too.
There's a bias, and obviously the officer had a thing for this guy because he keeps messing with him. And even from the incident last year, in his report, he said that McGreer, the guy that he finally beat up, said, when I get out of prison from the first time he was arrested, I'm going to kill you. Right. And so people are like, even on the video, the people who evaluated say he never said that. Where did he say he was going to kill you? Lying on this dude.
Of course.
But the point that I'm making is, I don't think you need to be trained not to lie on people.
Right, but again, there's a small group of people that, because of political expediency, that slip through the cracks. That lady, that police officer lady that shot that dude that rolled his window down.
Oh yeah.
They even said, the jury even said, this woman should not be a police officer.
Right. But she's one though.
But she's one, and she got rehired by the next town over. So, looking at it, there is a problem in the training. The overall training.
Let me ask you this, because the Baltimore Police Department is under the federal investigation since the 2015.
Well, no, the investigation's over. They're in a joint federal.
The feds are investigating.
Yeah, no. The investigation's over. Basically, the federal government has come in to oversee their training and how they do things with the community.
Okay, from what I read, it said that they were still in investigation.
Yeah, no, they're just under that jurisdiction.
But let's just say, for whatever reason, they're not, or whatever they are. Could it just be the culture of that police department? I mean, we saw what happened with Freddie Gray. I mean, he was clearly murdered, and before he was murdered, he was mistreated in the van ride and all that other stuff. And it sounds like Baltimore, the police department, has a history of violence. So could that just be the culture? And he knew, hey, that's how we get down. I mean, to the point of running up on this dude a whole year later and then following through on well, now I'm going to get you because I have the opportunity to.
No, yes and no. Like I said, the national training manual for these police, because there's got to be a standard from the federal government down. So with that national thing, there's a problem in the training in specific. You got these cycles in there, and in the military we have there's that 10% in the military. Everybody has that thing, but the thing is, the problem is the overall culture of law enforcement.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the overall culture, which is the training. When you've got good officers, and there are more good officers than there are bad officers, but until those good officers start turning in the bad officers, you're going to be grouped out. Because let's look at it from both sides. Okay, you got some people say, well, the officer was spared his life, whatever the deal is, and we put him on administrative leave or whatever. Okay, fine, but you didn't do anything to correct the culture of the violence of what's going on. And if you don't correct that guy, now you got the citizen people scared crapless of the police, which endangers more police officers.
Well, and the thing too is, and a lot of people speak to this issue, is that it needs to be community policing. People who are familiar with the community.
Oh, no. We can't have Negroes policing themselves.
Well, I guess apparently, in this scenario, the Negroes, as you say, policing ourselves didn't work because this is a brother who, I'm not saying I've never seen white cops do that to black people, because we have. Yeah. It's like, damn, bro, what did this? Did he talk about your mama? Mm-hmm. Did he sleep with your wife? Like, why are you doing this to this man? So people they argue community policing, which I think is a good idea. You should have people who are familiar with the dynamics of the neighborhood doing the policing. But then there's this other thing that black people, especially black lives, aren't worth anything, and they're not really people, they're not human, so it's not a problem for us to murder them in cold blood, because we also see those same police officers in a lot of situations deal differently with white people.
Yes, so like Miss Johnson, is everything okay?
Yeah, or Mr. Johnson is shooting at him, and they're ducking behind the cars. Okay, we just want to take you in. Please put your gun down.
Right.
But yet, Jerome walking across the street and he gets shot in the back.
Again, in this country, these people that have badges, they feel they are above the law because they feel they are the law.
Right.
Policemen are not the law. They are to enforce the law, and a lot of them do selective enforcing. So that's why you get in these positions where these cops are like, do as I say.
Right.
And because a lot of us do not know our basic rights, we comply. And in that situation, when they were saying, it was about him showing ID.
Right.
We've said it on the show several times. You do not, in certain states, you do not have to show your ID. It is not a show me your paper state. So that officer,
when he asked him why.
Right. And again, when you're in a situation where a cop is doing that goes to show you there's problem in their training. That's your as a police officer, that is your fundamental, basic knowledge of like your top 10 things you should know off the bat. I can ask you for your ID, but if you don't comply, that's your right.
I think it's a lot of that, but I think it's a little or maybe a lot of, I'm the law,
right?
You're not, you're stupid, I'm not, I got the power, you don't, so even no matter what I tell you, you better do it, otherwise I'm going to break your eye socket and your nose
and I'm going to tell people,
and stuff.
And I agree with you, and I'm going to tell people out there right now, if it gets to a situation where a cop is doing that, put him to the test, because guess what? You got a lawsuit coming on you for false arrest and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, the dude is gonna get paid.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about if a cop if he doesn't have a reasonable suspicion to arrest you, you're a private citizen. The first thing you should do when you see a police officer is say, before you even talk to me, what is your badge number and what is your employee number? And they're supposed to comply and give that.
But you know what I think it is too, because I think it's a lot of that, but I also think it's the police officers are not being held accountable internally for not knowing the law.
Right.
Because as you said, you got to tell me why I need to show you my ID and all of that.
He has to tell you that.
But for you to brutalize me because I'm asking you why, to me, if they're not being this dude here.
This cat needs to go to jail.
Anyway,
he needs to go to jail. That cat is bad. He's terrible.
I just think they need to be held accountable internally. Okay, now on the video, Officer Williams, we see you ask the guy for his ID and he asks you why, and for whatever, you're trained to give him a reason, but for whatever reason you didn't think you did. You thought it was better to kick his ass instead of giving him the information by law you're supposed to give him. And so therefore, I mean, he's fired or whatever, or he resigned. But in cases that they don't resign, you're going to get punished, whatever the case is, suspended, whatever, because you have caused a situation that was avoidable. By just telling the dude why you're asking for his ID. Well, you look like, the dude that was in the robbery. Or we just want to see if you're not such and such.
Well, see, in that situation, if he has a suspicion that this guy's about to do a crime or he's a suspect in a crime, he has every right to ask for that ID.
But tell me why though.
Right, but the citizen does not have to comply.
Okay, but see, you know the law,
Mhm.
I know the law, and if anybody should know the law, it's the police officers, but they're just negating that whole process. I don't even got to tell you, I'm asking for your ID, you better give it to me or it's going down.
Right.
Or and I'm going to trump on some charges on you
Mhm.
that you threatened me or...
And let him do that because, again, that's why, what do I say, V? I walk around here with a camera with me all the time.
But let's say there's a lot of people who aren't fortunate to do that, and thank God we live in a
You
day
can go on
and age.
eBay and get a little mini camera for $5.
But unfortunately, now we live in a day and age of technology where people have a cell phone everywhere. But think about the countless men and women that are sitting and rotting in jail
Right.
because of a police officer like this Officer Williams, who, for whatever reason, is pissed off because they had a run-in a year ago and he just wouldn't let it die. And this was his opportunity to show him once and for all who's got the power.
Right.
So a lot of people sitting
Show
there,
enough.
right, exactly. But a lot of people sitting in prison right now before the inception of cell phone cameras that have the same
Right.
story this brother had or
All
has,
because he said no.
but yet they believed him because, oh, well, you know, Officer Williams said, you know, you threatened him, so you
Well-
got to go give it there 25 years.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about this real quick.
Mhm.
And with what's going on with the Donald Trump thing, and I'm not here to bash
Oh,
Trump. No, but I want people to understand.
Okay,
this.
let me before you go, brother. Why is it that you and a couple other people say,
Mhm.
I don't want to bash Trump? You ain't got to preface the situation.
No, no.
Trump ain't got no problem bashing
No,
you.
no, exactly. No. What I'm saying is, when I say I don't want to bash Trump, this isn't about Trump.
Got it.
That's what I'm saying.
You're making an
Yeah,
example. Okay,
I mean,
go
this is
right
not
ahead.
about Trump.
Got it.
This show, because he's so irrelevant to me that it's
I
not
agree
even worth
with
my
you.
thing.
Right.
Okay. You just talked about how people are sitting in jail and went through all these other things like
Correct.
that. Now you have all of these facts on Trump out there, and and I was really sitting around and I was thinking about this. Think about all the people that, they know that this guy's a liar. Trump's a liar. They know that he's not a businessman. He won't do his taxes. He surrounds himself with criminals. All this other stuff, right? But people still support him. Now, when we go to court, and you sat on juries, I sat on a jury, you sit there, and the last jury thing that I sat, the facts did not permit what the guy wanted to do, but regardless of what these people saw, they were the hell with the fact he's guilty.
He's guilty, and you was the last man standing.
I was the
like,
last
nah,
man standing over there.
You recreated 12
Right.
angry men.
Yeah, but it really made me
Right.
think about how many young
Yes.
black people have gone
Yes.
to jail,
Yes.
regardless of
Yes.
what the facts showed.
Yes.
It just
Because it's that preconceived notion, as I was saying, how police officers view black people. They're subhuman. It's not a big deal.
They ain't gonna bust a grape.
So when certain people, and we know who those people are, get on the jury, no matter, like you said, whatever the facts are, well, he's a black man, so surely
Yeah.
he must be guilty.
Right.
If he ain't guilty of that, he's just guilty of being black, and so on that alone, we need to go on and find him guilty.
right when a white guy does, that's just Trump. It's okay.
But
Hey.
to speak to your point, imagine if you would have said, jury duty shit, I ain't going to that.
Mhm.
That man would be sitting in jail right now.
right.
Because you were the man that said,
stopped.
you know what, I know y'all probably got some barbecue sandwiches and all that y'all want to go home and eat and keep with kids and watch all the
You got
television shows.
Dodger tickets.
However, we're not sending an innocent man to jail for something he didn't do. We're going to sit our asses right here and we're going to go through the process of figuring out the facts and making an informed decision. And because you did that, that man walked free.
Right. And and here's the funny thing. The DA said there was there's 3 people in the room. He got everybody else but that third person that could have damned everybody else that was outside of the apartment where this assault had taken place. You got the victim, you got the defendant, but the most important person you couldn't find. So how did this case even come to trial?
Hey, as a black man, ain't nobody gonna defend him.
Exactly.
You get a jury of people who aren't his peers who gonna sit
exactly.
up there and say, well, it sounds plausible. I think sounds like he did it. And then he's gonna go to the clink for God knows how long. How much was the man looking at?
He was looking at 8 years.
8 years for something he didn't do.
Well, look, no, don't get me wrong. I didn't say he didn't do it.
He can prove he did it.
Exactly.
The evidence said he probably didn't do it opposed to him doing it.
When you sit in the court, it says you have to go by the evidence that is presented.
So not by your preconceived notions, not by your prejudices.
Exactly.
Your racist ideology about people.
And then people, after it was over, they all jumped on me. Like, well, she might be dead. That has nothing to do with me.
We're dealing with the facts right now.
The judge said we have to deal with the facts that happened on December 15th.
Again, you know what? How do we know he ain't gonna go do it again? How we know didn't, what he did, but we ain't dealing with that.
Right, we ain't dealing with that.
We dealing with
And that's what I told them. I said, did you guys listen to what the judge just said?
No, they never do.
Here are the facts.
They never do.
Damn everybody else. I said, throw everything out.
That's why black people, we gotta stop making excuses to not go to jury duty. Because we are partially the blame for our people going up the river for something they didn't do. Because when you're tried, it says by a jury of your peers, which means your friends or people who are like you. And when black people go to get on trial and they don't see people who represent them up there, more than likely those people are going down for the count. So we need to do our job. Hell, 5 days or however long, and God forbid you get sequestered, so what? You're going to be helping somebody decide, have their fate decided.
It's a serious thing to take somebody's freedom away.
It is. And we on the flip side of that, we take somebody's freedom away when we don't show up to jury duty.
Exactly. And here's something you got to think about. Now, Dee, I was getting called to jury duty. I've been retired for 6 years now. I was getting called to jury duty on a regular every year. I got to sit there for 3 days. I might even be selected, but I got to wait 3 or 4 days, right? That's why I tell people, you need to go to these things, get on a jury. I haven't been called to jury duty in 3 years.
I haven't either, but you know what?
You know what I mean?
Watch us get called, watch us check you are hereby asked to be a jury.
No, which I don't mind, but you know what though? I bet you they got us on a list, or me on a list saying, you know what?
He gonna show up.
Well, no, not gonna show up. He rationally thinks, and most likely you won't get a conviction using this guy.
Out here in Riverside County, it has a very high conviction rate of black people. I mean, they give black people stuff for, okay, well, you don't want this. How about an infraction? Oh, it's not really going to affect you, but yeah, it does. Yeah. They just want something on black people so that it'll
put them in a jurisdiction.
Yeah, and create a trail. Yeah. So the next time you do something, you get caught up in an arrest.
And then your background is set, because one of the first things that a prosecutor had said about this young man was his gang affiliation. I was in my head as a black man, knowing what this guy's dealing with. Not, that I was biased toward him. I said, well, what does that have to do with this case?
But if you're not a black man and you hear that, he's in a gang, he must be guilty.
Yeah. What does his gang affiliation have to do with an assault?
Because when you invoke the word gang affiliation, that says, as we talked about before, which the DA I'm sure was white, it refers to other white people. He's dangerous.
Yes.
And this isn't about him doing something to other black people. This is about him potentially doing something to you. So make a wise decision and locking his black ass up to protect us.
Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't give a damn about the brother, because everybody knows I'm a military person, so I don't know anything about gang lives.
What's right is right.
And I went by the facts of the case. And unfortunately, in this case, regardless of how long we argued for about 4 or 5 hours the 2 days that it went across, and these people, all of them, and I was the only black guy on the jury, all of them were like, and I said, well, based on what? Well, his girlfriend said, throw her out. She wasn't in the room.
And so you being a black man there, they probably had discounted. He don't know nothing.
Right.
He ain't gonna bring nothing valuable to this conversation. We just roll him over and he just gonna do what we want him to do.
Well, the funny thing is, when I got called jury duty, I went down in my uniform, in my blues, and most military people were very conservative.
Yeah.
And so I guess they thought I was conservative, because I was like, and the guy asked me, he says, well, what do you do? I said, look, I don't know anything other than what the facts are going to show. I said, so I don't have any, I can't really say that. And I think that's why they selected me, and they said, oh, he's a military guy. He's going on our side. We got him. And he's a black man, so he looks better.
Right.
And after it was over,
you got there and said, shit.
Well, no, I mean, looking at what they were throwing at him, I said, wow. Everything took place in a closed apartment. I said, all these other people don't matter because it's just like it behind closed doors. What you do behind your closed doors, sexually or whatever you're doing, we don't know.
Right, there's two sides of every
Right.
story, and they say three.
Right, and
yours,
the only,
hers, and the truth.
Right, and the only people that know that, and there were 3 people in the apartment. Okay, damn her testimony, damn his testimony. The only person that can decide that is that third person, and that's what I looked at it. I said,
And they were missing.
And they were missing.
So we were just gonna just take
Yeah.
something together based on what we
Right.
think happened.
Right, and I said no.
Right.
It's not going to work down. But my point is, you guys, we have to start showing up for jury duty.
We've got to. I mean, this is sure there's a lot of stuff here, like Jerry Springer come on.
Yeah, he'll come on.
Maury Povich or whatever
Yeah.
comes on during the day. You want to be sitting up, sipping on something, watching. You know what? Later for that. There's a lot of black people going up the river for stuff they didn't do.
And you know, and we need to hold our officers accountable. You do not wear white socks with
You know what?
At first, I thought it was Michael Jackson. Just on me.
Yeah, but it's like I'm not really quite for sure what kind of fighting style that was.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like, is he gonna kill this dude?
Which also proves my point. There's a problem in the training because there's no way in training are they teaching you to fight like that.
I mean, I guess they were probably training to strike a blow,
Yes,
like a stunner.
and to disable. You know,
My God.
actually, in the military, they don't even train us to well, Army Marine Corps, they train you to kill.
Yeah.
But that's with a gun or something. But they don't actually train us to
hand to
hand like that because it's
yeah,
just,
he learned that shit from somewhere
right.
else.
Because think about it. If I'm that close to you, obviously there's no weapon type situation.
And then the
here.
dude took him down and was still pummeling. It was like, okay, the guy was never a threat to you. Why do you feel so? It's just like it just looked like a lot of. Well, obviously self-hate, but it was like to me that was like I hate you.
I hate
and
you.
I
Right.
will make sure. Oh, if I could just beat you within
Right.
an inch of your life.
And see the ignorance of it too is okay. This guy just now lost a lucrative job, right?
But to your point that you made before we came on here, he resigned.
Yeah.
He probably gonna be somewhere else.
Right. That's true because he's got the training and stuff like that. You know, we could be a Walmart security guard. I don't know.
You know what?
But no, it's under the same jurisdiction. But the point, he lost a lucrative job, all because he could not be a professional police
But see,
officer.
that's why too. That made me question that maybe he's just part of the culture in the police
Yeah.
department. Hey, we just beat the shit out of
Yeah.
black dudes,
No.
and we get away with it. And you know, they say it's been said a lot that oftentimes we as black people, some of us, crack the whip harder on our own people than Master does.
Right.
And that's what that was. You just dude is minding his business, and you roll up on him, and you want to put him under subjection, like.
And you got to remember that people have given you the power to police them. So I have every right to say why.
Right.
And if you can't articulate what crime or
Well, he didn't feel like he needed to, nigga. I'm
then
doing
put the
all the
cuffs
asking the
on.
questions.
Then put the cuffs on me.
Right.
And take me downtown
Take me down.
and give me my $500,000 lawsuit.
Then they said
Right.
there's another video showing them putting him in a car. They didn't call no ambulance, or none of that.
None
They
of
just, just put him in a car. Like obviously, the dude is bleeding all over the place. His face is all broken up. And
Okay.
You put him in you handcuff him anyway.
Okay. We have the same thing in the military. Basically, our police department is a paramilitary. I couldn't hack it in the real military. Okay, so we have a guy, a prisoner of war. He surrendered. That does not give me the justification as a soldier to beat him upside his head and just abuse him.
Don't you have to go before the Geneva Convention or something?
Well,
like
we're under the
like
Geneva
that?
Conventions, but unfortunately, ever since the Bush Doctrine, we're not a part of that anymore. Well, we're a part of it, but we don't listen to it.
You got to answer for doing
You're going to
that
have to answer that
yeah.
because once that person surrenders, or he asked a question, that isn't justification for me to whoop his ass.
God, Leah's like, because I saw that, I was like, what did he do? Did I miss something?
Right.
What happened?
You're getting your ass beat because you're asking why you have to present your ID?
God, it's like, that dude honestly is lucky to be alive. The way he did him, he is lucky to still.
And think about it. He was taking the blows. He wasn't even defending himself.
At all. At the end, you see him with the guy's radio like,
right,
get off me.
Right.
What do you? Then I look like he's telling Lego on my radio. Dude, I don't know what else you're trying to do to me.
And then I'm also going to tell you this. If you watch the video, you got to pay attention to what you're seeing, okay? Notice 2 cops are there. He's pummeling the one guy. There were other civilians in the area in proximity. So obviously, this cop was not in danger.
And that's the argument they tried to make too, saying, well, there was a guy with a broom that was sweeping the sidewalk, and so they were trying to say, well, the people standing around could have posed a threat, but then experts was like,
no,
those people didn't even bust a grape. The
right.
dude kept sweeping.
Right.
So you guys knew
right.
you weren't in danger.
Right. Because if the cop was in danger, you're not gonna put civilians in the line of fire for something that could happen. Because guess what? It's better for me to disengage and let you go than kill an innocent person, and that's part of the training.
You know, and my hat's off to the brother that got beat up, because I can't think of too many people. Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to not
fight,
defend
but yeah,
yourself.
because it's like, God, I can't imagine all the stuff that's going through his head. If I fight back,
it's
then they're
look worse
gonna
for
charge me
right.
for assaulting a police officer, but yet my face is currently in the process of being broken.
Right.
And so what do I do here? I don't want to make matters worse, but damn, I ain't trying to die.
But D, we didn't see what happened before the
right,
tape.
That's what some people will say, you know, well, what had happened before the tape?
Right.
Well, what happened before the tape is a year before that,
yeah.
the police officer was pissed off, tried to trump up some charges against him, and then he saw him, and then he just figured he would continue the whole thing from last. That's what really happened.
Right, and then
dude was trying to get some get back.
Right, and because I got a badge, I'm gonna get that, because I'm the man now.
And I'm sure, and this is the cold part, that we don't know for sure, but I'm sure when him and his partner, which was another brother, saw that dude on the street, he probably said, man, that's that mother that gassy, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna say something. So I'm sure the
Hold
other
up,
officer,
let me pull up my white socks.
You stupid.
Let's go.
I'm sure they had something along those lines of a conversation before they got out of the car, wherever they were, and for whatever reason, the officer who didn't resign, he didn't have enough influence over the dude to say, you know what, we might want to leave him alone.
Well, I think he did, because there is a seniority type thing. So it's just like if I came under you and under PR, it doesn't matter how old I am. You're the senior person, I'm the lower person.
But at what point did you? Because the one officer that didn't resign, he kind of put his hand out once, kind of haphazardly. But he didn't really do much else. And
look at the video. You're supposed to protect. If you were getting assaulted as a civilian, and even if it's my fellow officer, I'm supposed to be busting your ass, protecting that person. And that's exactly why.
Like you need to do it. Go
ahead. That's exactly why. Until these good cops start turning in these bad cops, you're going to have a civilian population that is going to be in fear of the police department, and
they are.
And that will endanger more policemen.
I mean, what happened to just like police officers? Not all, but a lot of them. They, for whatever reason, don't feel like they just need to do their job. You can arrest somebody or write somebody a ticket without all the douchebaggery. You ain't got to do all that to people. Hell, that's it. I mean, like, I'm a black woman, and I haven't been pulled over, knock on wood, in a while, but I can imagine being a black man, all the things that will probably go through your mind. Am I going to survive this encounter?
Well, you think about this. What is the most fearful time for humans on this planet?
Death?
What the fearful time? Time of day.
Night.
Night.
Yeah.
We're afraid of the night. Now, you saw the video. This was in broad daylight.
It was a morning time.
Right.
Early morning.
What could this officer be afraid of in the broad daylight with people interacting in between the altercations?
And that's why I'm saying somewhere in that squad car before they got out and accosted that dude, there's no doubt in my mind they had the conversation of, oh, that's that such and such right there. Remember him? You know, last year he did this. I'm going to get out. And I'm sure they had that conversation. So, you know, and especially if you lied on the report last year and said the dude said he was going to kill you if he get out of prison. Right. Well, damn, if you was afraid of this dude, why did you get out and started the party with him?
Exactly. Here in Los Angeles, it has been documented several times, Rampart divisions, different divisions. You have police officers that were former gang members or are still gang members.
Didn't they just pull the top off of one of the police precincts recently in the last couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, so it isn't beyond comprehension that he had a vendetta.
Organized thugs.
Right, and you know, they got into the police department under a whatever, and they missed the wire, and next thing, and we're not just talking about black, Hispanic, we're talking about the worst ones are the white cops, because they're the ones organizing all this stuff.
Well, you know, that guy, the police officer did the abusing, he had just gotten out of the Marine Corps. So he's a former Marine, went to the police academy, and there he was.
man. Because, you know, and like I said, being a professional police officer, like me, I was a professional airman, soldier. So I'm going to conduct myself, no matter how bad you curse me, whatever. Well, you remember, I was in politics. How bad were people dogging me and talking bad about me and doing all these things?
It's just part of the job.
Part of the job.
And that somebody put their hands on you, it's like, okay, those are just words.
Right. I just recently got labeled, but you don't see me on the shows that, oh, no, that ain't how you handle that.
Right.
I'm going to handle it in a professional way. I'm just going to sue you.
Right.
And take it from there. You know what I mean? So, but that's how you tell the difference between professional police officers and motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, you know, a lot of those dudes are just, they get the badge, and before they get the badge, they're like, I'm cracking some skulls.
Right.
I'm holding these niggas accountable.
I'm above them now.
Yeah, they even before they get the badge, that's their ideology.
Right, like I said, how many times have you been sitting at a stop waiting for the light and you see the cop that's next to you on his cell phone? But he's quick to write you a ticket when you're on your cell phone.
Right. But that doesn't apply to me. Okay? This applies to you.
Right.
Don't worry about me.
Right. Or you know, in a prostitution sting, he's screwing the hooker.
Well, I read, I can't remember some book I read a while back, but it said that, you know, police officers act as a judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
All at the same time.
And
within a matter of sometimes a minute.
Yeah, and the sad thing is they're none of that. They are just people that say, I think a crime has been committed. They gather the evidence and
then let the judge and the jury and particularly the executioner do their job.
And we're executing our own people because we are so busy trying to avoid jury duty, or at a local level, the judgeship is being run in its old Confederate Willis.
That's been on there since the Confederacy.
Since the Confederacy, and then we wonder why. You look at the statistics. Wow, this guy has an 84% conviction rate of African Americans.
And that's what I'm saying too, because now here in Riverside County, we are going through midterm elections, and the DA's seat is up. But he has that good old code word, I'm tough on crime. I'll be tough on crime, which is the back code to his people. I'ma hold those niggers accountable.
And the Mexicans.
Yes, I'm protecting you guys against them, so I need your vote. That's all that says.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, Sheriff Lee Baca, this guy was the LA sheriff. Corrupted, abusing people in the prison system. It's like I said, there's a problem in the culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, if somebody like him goes in there where the atmosphere is already tainted, he's like, shoot, who's gonna check me?
Right. Hey, this is great. I'm part of the team.
I'm out there beating people up and getting away with it.
Right.
And what you would have if nobody filmed that. If nobody filmed that, there's no doubt in my mind that dude would have gotten away with it.
Right. And you know, here's another question you got to ask yourself now that you brought that up. See, I mean, this brings up a lot of things. And that's why I'm saying when you look at videos, you got to really think about what's really going on. Where's the police video?
Well, you know what happened was, you know, but to your point though, they release the video when it's in the police officer's favor.
Right.
It's like, well, you know,
he didn't turn it on.
Yeah, we're gathering the evidence we're still trying to, you know, work out the dynamics of what's really going on.
We didn't get the funding for the cameras.
We'll have it to you in 2 to 4 months.
Yeah, after we edit it.
Yeah, but when it's in the police officer's favor, they have it to you in 2 to 3 minutes.
Right. And also you guys remember this. Whenever, let's say there's a problem, it's not even a police problem. Anytime you have a problem, there's cameras everywhere, so know where you're at, look at the building. I'm very sure if you had an altercation outside or an auto accident, there's a video of it. You just got to know what building you're looking at.
And then with this incident, I believe it's this one, because hell, there's so many of them. But you can hear the guy saying, don't worry, and I'm paraphrasing him, but I got it. I'm recording it. I got it on camera. I got it. So, like, damn, he's voicing Officer Bud. I'm recording it, so you might want to stop.
Right,
also telling the dude that's getting beat up, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
I know they're going to chump up some mess.
On that settlement, I need my
You know what I'm saying? You better not forget about me. But no, all seriousness, it's like, because I know they're going to chump up something on you and say you grabbed his gun or you did something crazy. Don't worry, we got the whole thing.
Yeah, and using a situation like that, when it's overwhelming evidence against the officer, the DA always drops the charges.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, we ain't got to win this one.
Well, drop the charges and write me a check. Yeah. Don't take the people through Baltimore through all that. Write me a check because I'm probably never going to be the same. You rearrange my whole
And everybody remember this. The Supreme Court has already upheld the fact that you have every right to record any
Yep.
public official.
Yep.
Now, the police do have a right to say, stand 10 feet away from me, let them do their
I'll
job.
put the zoom on you,
Right,
brother.
exactly.
I'll put the zoom feature
And
in on
anytime
it.
you see a brother, sister, fellow Hispanic, brown, Asian brother, sister in trouble, you should stop and videotape to protect them and to protect the officer.
Yeah, instead of filming people having ghetto fights.
Right.
I saw a video the other day
You're
that
filming
made
people
me,
out doing a crime.
I saw a video the other day that made me want to just say, mothership,
Come and get it.
suck me up. I'm ready to go.
So high, you don't know.
Cause you know when you're scrolling down your timeline and the
Mhm.
videos just play automatically. I saw a video of 2 pregnant girls, and so the
Yes.
caption said they were truly pregnant,
Mhm.
but they was fighting over the same baby daddy.
Yeah, I had that happen to me a couple times.
Really? They both look about the same amount pregnant,
Yeah.
but they fighting over the baby daddy.
the same dick.
So instead of recording that kind of stuff, we need to
Right.
be filming, you know,
Right,
the
we need to
police
look out
acting
for
crazy.
each other. Don't just drive by. Now, if you're on the highway, don't stop. Keep going. But what I'm talking about, when you see a brother, you know, he's being questioned or whatever,
Because you know it's probably going to be some mess
right?
that's going to go down.
And they're gonna throw some. And don't get me wrong, Derek Deontay is probably a dirtbag in the neighborhood. However,
Does he deserve his
Right.
eye sockets
right,
busted?
or his freedom taken because
Right.
this cop has a vendetta against him.
Right, and that's a valid question. I mean, so when I see stuff, sometimes it just leaves me speechless.
Yeah.
Like, brother, did you? Why do you hate black people so much that you would do that to another black man who has done nothing to you?
Mhm.
Why do you? What has caused you to be so hateful?
The media and the brainwashing and a lot of that, like I said, in the military, like, okay, I know everybody, I get the comments from you people out there that are listening, the Highland Fairview people and stuff like that, like, oh, I'm a house nigga, this, that. You guys gotta understand, I'm not making no excuses. I'm a black man through and through, because in my time in the military, I've always amped for the black person. However, you're right, I don't know anything about the ghetto. I don't know anything about food stamps other than when my father had died, you know, in that little initial
When she
phase.
did what she had to do
Had
for
to
a
do
minute.
for a minute. Other than that, you're absolutely right. I don't know what it is to live that hoodish life and you know, sag my pants and show my shit stained draw. I don't know anything about that. I agree with you. However, that does not mean I do not support
Well,
black folks.
it's funny that you say that. How much time we got?
We got time.
Oh, we got about 2 minutes. I think I can do it in one.
Mhm.
There's this other video, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. Lord knows I'm tired of talking about it. But there's yet another video of a black woman getting assaulted by an Asian dude. You guys are probably going to see it trending. She goes.
Wait. I got a better idea. Let's go to that for our next section.
Okay.
And here's what we're going to do. As we end this segment, I want you guys to take a look at the video of the black man getting his ass whipped by the cop with the white socks. And just take a look at it. And we're going to start that section on our next section.
Okay.
Because I think that's very poignant that we get these sections out and let
Okay.
everybody know what's going on. Because we're not imagining this. This is something that we are seeing. It's on video, but yet...
But this segment is where me and you, because I believe me and you are gonna be on the same page,
Mhm.
are gonna get into a little bit of trouble. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Trouble is our middle name.
Middle name. So you guys...
Bring it!
So you guys stand by, and like again, if you're in that situation, please videotape and watch out for each other because, hey, you need some money? There's your lawsuit right there. But
Okay.
and also know your basic law.
Right.
We'll see you guys again in the next segment.
My stars and garters, President Ronald Reagan, my hero. Is this heaven?
Oh, not just heaven, Ruckus. White heaven. You see, there are many different types of people, Ruckus. So God created many separate but, well, for the most part, equal heavens.
You don't say.
White heaven is for decent, good, God-fearing Christians who just happen to, well, hate everyone and everything relating to black people. That means no Muhammad Ali, no hip-hop music, and no fucking Jesse Jackson.
What about Whoopi Goldberg?
Nope.
Oh, this is heaven.
Turns out that God really doesn't have that much of a problem with racism. He doesn't even remember slavery, except in February. Personally, I hate black people, Ruckus. That's why I did everything I could to make their lives miserable. Crack? Me. AIDS? Me. Reaganomics? Come on, I'm in the name. And God has rewarded me. Know why?
'Cause 2 niggers and 2 quarters don't add up to $1?
Well, that. And because God loves white people. And if you teach everyone on earth to love the white man, you too can join us in white heaven.
Oh, praise white God.